eyes on the beat.
Them birds.
What's up? What's up? How are you doing today?
Man, I'm good. You already see it. The neon green and the gray.
Oh, you representing for the Seahawks.
Neon and green and the gray. You know,
Okay.
I always rep for that 206.
Okay, so you know what? Since you go ahead, let me go ahead. I'm gonna go ahead and change. Go a little green. Since we represent Seahawks colors, change my green a little bit and go on ahead and shout out the Seahawks because they got the win, y'all. Seahawks, Super Bowl 60 winners.
Shout out to them Seahawks.
Yes, shout them out. They are the final last team standing after a very long and trying, crazy season, man. Oh man, what a season it's been. Going back, I know the game happened yesterday. So much has happened since then. What are your thoughts though? Did you enjoy the game? Did you like it?
It was a decent game. I enjoyed it from the standpoint that I was taking my mama money, so and talking heavy trash all night, and
wow,
talking
not
the
taking
game.
mom's money.
Right, yeah. I had to take her money, and educating people on the game and that type of thing.
You said that with no shame either.
No, ain't no shame in it now. She the one brought it to me,
Oh.
She brought it my way.
Smoke. You said here it is.
She wanted to smoke. I don't know why she wanted to smoke with me out of all people.
How was the party? Did you guys have a good time at the party?
Yeah, I enjoyed myself. I got
how many of y'all in the chat were at Super Bowl parties? Drop it in the chat. Oh wow. Somebody Caleb Jefferson says same, took some kids' money too. Y'all should be ashamed.
Anybody can get it.
Not taking it from your mom and the kids.
Yeah.
Not the babies.
Hey, the baby got money and put it up. It's gone. That's just how it goes.
That is hilarious. Y'all are something else. Did y'all win big though?
What you mean?
And y'all were betting. Did y'all win?
Who you talking to me?
Like your mom? Yeah. Did you make some good money?
Oh no, we just play money. I mean, it's real money, but we ain't betting nothing big. We ain't betting no hundreds or nothing like that.
Okay, so you got like some breakfast or something. Breakfast money.
It just talk trash. It just talk trash money. It ain't even really, big money.
Okay. OMG. What's up, Nasir? How's it going? He said kids be talking the most trash and I broke even. Well, at least you broke even. I'll say that much. At least you broke even.
You were half right. You were half right.
Oh man. So you didn't really enjoy the game? You're like, it was a game?
Yeah, it was good.
You want to see some more exciting play?
No, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the game. It doesn't have to be a shootout or anything like that. It just has to be a well coached game. I thought the game was well coached on both sides the best they could. At some point, it comes down to the players and execution, and Seattle executed more than the New England Patriots did. So they end up being the outcome of the game.
What do you think? Aside from defense, right? Because the defense was pretty good for both sides, if you ask me. What do you think was the determining factor? Like, Aside, like, why is it the Patriots could like just not get going?
Well, I think Seattle did a good job of mixing up the defensive coverages.
Mhm.
Drake May is only in his second year as a quarterback, and so being a young quarterback, he hasn't seen everything. And Mike
Mhm.
McDonald showed him something yesterday that he hadn't seen.
Mhm.
He would they would fake the blitz, and then everybody
Mhm.
would drop back into coverage. Or
Mhm.
when he think everybody's gonna drop back into coverage, he was sending them corners and them safeties, and
Mhm.
Drake May was under pressure and having to get rid of the ball. And some of the times he had open receivers, but he thought blitz was coming and he was getting rid of the ball, but it wasn't on target. He was off target a lot yesterday. So Mike McDonald did a really good job of fooling the young guy. And so
Mhm.
it's good for Drake May that part of his maturity in football, you got to see a lot of coverages. You got to see a
Yeah.
lot of different type of defenses, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, because you're only in your second year, you haven't seen everything yet. And so yesterday he saw something new.
So one might argue that although like he hadn't necessarily played the best throughout the playoffs, he had seen some great defenses. You know what I mean? The Houston
Right.
Texans defense, I would think, is like they're up there. You know, Chargers are good as well. Not the same as the Texans, but still, all in all, a good defense. So being that the conversation was, man, they saw some great defenses. I heard a lot of people say, foreign players say throughout the week, well, Drake May, he saw some great defenses. He went against Houston, went against this one, went against that one. Why do you think, in spite of going against the Houston Texans and being able to overcome that, he couldn't do it with the Seattle Seahawks? Because they're both
Yeah.
really good defenses.
Yeah. Well, if you really think about it, Drake May hasn't played good football in over a month. And part of that reason is
Uh,
because again, I go back to him being a young quarterback.
mhm.
When he played the Houston Texans, he didn't have a good game. He
No,
turned the
he
ball
didn't.
over 3 times. It's
Yeah,
just CJ Stroud turned the ball over 5 times and kinda
yeah.
bailed him out. But Houston showed him some stuff that he hadn't seen before,
Hmm.
and he was rattled in that game. You go to the Denver game, which was the weather, the conditions weren't great.
Hmm.
But again, he only passed for 86 yards in that game. He was what 10 he only completed 10 passes that game. They showed him something he hadn't seen before. So
Hmm.
he got his whole ride throughout the playoffs was
Hmm.
tough defenses, and everybody was throwing things at him that he had never seen before, and he
Hmm.
clearly became rattled. And hell, even in the Denver game, he was heard telling Josh McDaniel, "This is hard." you know?
I didn't hear that.
Yeah, he's like, "This is hard," and Josh McDaniel like, "It's gonna be hard. I just need you to go ahead and finish these last 6 minutes. This is the NFL. It's gonna be hard." And so he yesterday was a whole nother situation. So
It was
he,
harder.
yeah, so he got to get that experience under his belt.
Uh,
Um, we've seen young quarterbacks struggling in the Super Bowl before. We saw
yeah.
Jared Goff go to the Super Bowl in his second year, and they lost the Super Bowl 13-3. Their defense played great. Wade Phillips threw
Hmm.
everything at Tom Brady, but Belichick showed Jared Goff something he had never seen before. And
Hmm.
that made the Rams go out and get Matthew Stafford, somebody who had
Hmm.
seen everything. And then they win the Super Bowl the next year. So
Yeah.
sometimes, with a young quarterback, it's just very difficult to win a Super Bowl when you're a young quarterback.
Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I think the lack of experience, and honestly speaking, he hadn't played great in a while. Everybody kept really not really paying attention because they were winning. So, when you win, people are like, "Oh, but they won, but they won, but they won." I always say, "Well, how does it look when you won?" You know what I mean? What mistakes you need to fix and prepare
Right.
for the next game. And I don't feel like there were some things that were fixed. Now I know being a second year QB is only but so much preparation. Some things you just gotta learn come with time and experience, like you said. But I do feel like perhaps maybe he should have spent some more time in the lab looking at those coverages, or being prepared for some coverages that he may see. Because the coaches are more experienced than him. You got some players there more experienced than him. You know what I mean? Things of that nature.
Right.
That's I think. I don't know if they did, but it didn't look like they did. I feel like he could have been a little bit more prepared, and from that regard. But again, it's learning. There's nothing like experience being there and learning. You can study all you want, and you can look at it, but when you're there live in real time, like it's a whole different ball game. And the Seahawks were really
Exactly.
they were like, we are not leaving without having this ring tonight. So that's what that's gonna be.
Yeah, Seattle was playing fast out there, and that big 97, he wasn't moving. I mean,
Hmm.
the left side of the Patriots line. I mean, they got rookies on that left side of the line, and maybe some guys maybe weren't 100%. There's no excuses, but they weren't offering Drake May the type of protection that he was used to throughout the regular season. I mean, the Seattle was in there, and Dick Lawrence, he was in there. They were putting pressure on the quarterback, and
Hmm.
Witherspoon and those safeties was coming. Yeah, man, it was havoc. It was like it was Halloween for Drake
Hmm.
May. He was seeing ghosts. He was seeing monsters.
He
He was
definitely looked
seeing
like he was.
witches.
I was
he
like,
was see-
the ghost went from Sam to Drake May last night.
right. And
Let me read some comments real quick. Hold on. Nasir says struggle to stay awake for the first half. Nasir is funny. Oh, you're gonna watch a good Netflix movie, right? Or put one on. Change your mind, Nasir. Caleb said, "Preach, bro, preach." Caleb also said they had momentum to the regular season and just carried over to the playoffs, in my opinion. That response speaks to this new generation. This hard, yeah, I bet. Mistakes get overlooked when you get the dub. That's true, but I think for me, as I always say, like don't. And I always hear Shannon Sharp say that never accept anything in the win you wouldn't have lost. That's real talk. Like you got to know, like it's not going to be the same in the Super Bowl. It's just not. I thought it was on a positive note. He's young. God willing, he has a lot more time, and you can never take for granted, getting to Super Bowl because it may not be a while before he gets back. There's no
right,
guarantees that he will get back. But hopefully he does. I mean, next year we'll see who's injured, who's not, because this year, people they had a little bit easier schedule. People, he kind of flew under the radar a little bit in terms of, but I think next year they said the schedule is stacked. They go to Chicago a few times. Like they were reading up the schedule earlier. I have it memorized. And I was like, oh, it's going to be a little bit more, a little bit tougher now
yeah,
because teams are going to have more. They're going to be more prepared. Now that he was super close in the MVP conversation. I believe it was two votes between him and
one
Matthew
vote,
Stafford.
one vote,
One, I thought it was two.
right,
For the first place votes. So
24
really,
to
really close.
23.
You're right. Yeah, I thought it was 25-23, but they were super, super close. So it's gonna be, yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen. But all in all, for me, he couldn't lose either way. If he won, it was going to go from here all the way up here.
Right,
But the
right,
fact of the matter is that he still got there. He still superseded expectations in his second year. So there's like really so much you can say about him, and he's still so young. Like this is only his second year Super
yeah.
Bowl. So now the thing is, expectations are going to go higher though. They're going to expect you to keep playing at that high level and get higher and higher, and that's not realistic
Right,
either because like we look at Jaden Daniels last year and he had a great year, and then this season he was injured and it was
right.
just not what we expected it to be. So you can't take it for granted. But someone said the Panthers are taking it. Okay, taking the Super Bowl
Well,
next year. Okay,
it's about consistency. Pat
yeah,
Mahomes. I think Pat Mahomes made it his second year, and then he kept playing well.
mhm,
Expectations are high. Some guys
yeah,
make it
very,
in early in their career, and they never see it again. I think I think a lot of people, definitely fans, are not giving Drake May the credit that he deserves. They talk about an easy schedule. There's no easy schedule in football. You know, every year somebody has the quote unquote easy schedule. Why they ain't making this
yeah,
to the Super Bowl? If they got this quote unquote easy schedule, it's
mhm.
hard to win football games. I don't give a damn who you playing. You could be playing the Saints. You could be playing the Panthers. Unless you playing the Jets, then and even they won a few games.
Don't be doing that. Don't be
Right.
doing that
I'm just
face
saying.
AG.
I'm just
Like,
saying
what's
they were
going on?
terrible, but even they won a few games. I mean, Cleveland, even though they only won 5 games, they were tough to beat. You had to go beat Cleveland. So, easy schedule. Nah, he played great. He played who he had to play, and I mean, he beat some good teams too. He beat Buffalo. Buffalo is a good team. I mean, he beat a few good
They split
teams.
this season, but continue.
Right.
And
And then he
don't be throwing out strays to my
no,
QB over here, right?
I'm giving good teams that he beat. And then you get into the
Okay.
playoffs, they did beat the Chargers. They did beat the Texans. And they did beat the Broncos. Those are three good teams. So give credit
Okay.
where credit is due. It's just he ran into a juggernaut. And they had Seattle played a better game as a complete team. As a whole, they
Mhm.
played a better game.
Well, look, I know somebody does have to get that quote unquote easy schedule. Um, but for me, like I said, I wanted to see what it looked like when they got battle tested. I said, I think last week before, the defense, people were like, oh, defense is this, is that. I'm like, yeah, but they haven't a legit offense right now. Like they face, Justin Herbert, but half of his O line is injured. Like like so it's not a complete like it's not his normal, regular healthy O line. So that does make a difference. They still got to go out there and win the game, whoever's on the field, but it makes a difference when you're playing with,
Right.
backups and practice squad players. They're practice squad players for a reason. Fast forward to the Texans, CJ Stroud has been on the struggle bus pretty much the whole entire season. That combined with him being injured, there was a lot going on. And then he was missing a lot of his weapons as well. So that, like that was able to get the edge with that as well. And then when it comes to the Broncos, I mean, in spite of them being in the snow, they're both in the same elements, but they barely won that game. You know what I mean? And it wasn't like Drake May was playing lights out. So for me, I want to see how he looks next year, with a different, with a more challenging schedule. People have more film on him. They know the expectations are higher. I want to see how he battles through next season. For me, that's going to be more of the test.
You know,
Um, for me.
yeah, and you're correct. They're gonna have a schedule, and let's say their schedule is not scheduled to be the easiest schedule. They're
Hmm.
still gonna play the Jets twice. They're gonna play Buffalo twice. They're gonna play Miami twice. That's every year. Every year, a team that was good this year could be one of the worst teams in the league next year. Teams don't. You don't play a team. Next year you're not gonna play a team who they were last year. There's gonna be turnover on the rosters. You got new
Hmm.
players coming in. You got other players
Yeah.
coming out. You got new rookies coming in. Like Chicago was good last year. They could be trash next year. We
That's
just
true.
don't know. That's why Ben Justin say we got to start over from the ground. Like we're not building on what we got. We got to
Hmm.
start all the way over, and that's
Hmm.
how every football team has to do every year. You can be 4-13 this year and be in the Super
Hmm.
Bowl like New England, or
Hmm.
you could be like Baltimore 12-5 and
Hmm.
miss the playoffs.
Hmm.
There's so this easy schedule thing to me, I just think is overrated. I think a lot of people use to discredit what this man did this year, and he had a great season. It just didn't go his way in the Super Bowl, and that's fine. He's a young quarterback. And to your point, it's gonna be about consistency going forward. Can you reach this pinnacle again? Because to this point, Jared Goff hasn't reached this pinnacle again. It's
Yeah.
tough, but you got guys like Pat Mahomes who are able to reach this pinnacle multiple times again. So where is Drake May gonna fall in all of that?
Yeah, we're gonna see. I'm like I said, I want to see. And I said this a while. Like my son, he's like Drake May, Drake May. I'm like, I'm not blown away, but that's just me. You know what I mean? I think he did good. Had a very very good season this season. But like, I mean, look, you aside from Buffalo, in terms of who they play, like in their division, I'm just like the Jets are the Jets, and I'm rooting for AG. I really want him to succeed next season. Hopefully, they surprise a lot of people in a positive way. But they weren't real competition. And I said it with the utmost respect because again, I like AG and I'm rooted for him. Miami, they had some good games, and then other games it was like, what happened? There was a time where it was like, okay, maybe they're getting some, they're making some, progress. I mean, like 2 games, and then it went right back to the same thing. So you can't
Right.
really necessarily count them either. And then Tua, stay healthy, can't stay healthy, and Tyreek, he got hurt, and they would it was so much going on. But like I said, they did what they were supposed to do, which was still win the game. And that they did. So I'm not going to knock him for that. But like I said, I really think they should have spent some more time with him, being a young QB and knowing how that Seahawks defense was going to come. Just like maybe spending some more time with him on the possible coverages that could have, came his way. He didn't look like he was prepared. Like he was like, oh crap, like this is whoa, like he couldn't like figure out nothing. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
do also wish that he would have used his legs a little bit more. We saw him do that more throughout the season. Like we saw him extend plays, using his legs. Last night, he did a couple of times. I
Yeah.
wish he would have done a little bit more throughout the game. But he definitely looked like he was like, whoa, like what's going on? Sack,
Well,
knockdown.
right. Right. You just got to give Seattle Seahawks and Mike McDonald and those players. You got to give them credit. I mean, Drake May is working with Josh McDaniel as his offensive coordinator. Nobody prepares their quarterbacks better than Josh McDaniel. Everybody who's
He
worked
didn't
with
look
Josh,
prepared to me yesterday.
yeah, it's hard. Exactly. That's credit to Seattle defense. They make you look like you're not prepared. That's how
Yeah,
good
but I
they
think
made.
about
They made a
Seattle's
lot of
defense.
teams. They made a lot of quarterbacks look like they were unprepared this year.
But
They
but when
they
I
did
think about Seattle's defense and how they look when they played against one Matthew Stafford in that offense. Matthew
right.
Stafford's more experienced, you know what I mean? So he's seen
Exactly.
a lot more. He's a winner.
Right.
So I said to say their defense did not look the same. I mean, like Matthew Stafford was getting that ball out fast, and it was still very, very close and winnable game. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? They were going back and forth and back and forth. They couldn't really slow that offense down. They did enough,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? And Sam Darnold, to his credit, in that championship, NFC championship, he had to have a very clean, no like turnover kind of game, and
Right.
that he did. No extra opportunities, but that offense was still
Yeah.
did enough, to still stay in that game. And even though he had, I mean, what his weapons pretty much were Puka Nakua, and then what
Yeah.
was
And
there,
Devontae Adams, right? That'll help
Adams,
you out.
like
Drake May
I
don't
mean,
got
look,
that.
the Patriots O line, they had weapons now. I mean, he was
Yeah.
in conversation, so we can't act like he ain't
Yeah.
have nobody in that O line because it didn't work out.
Yeah, I said Drake May don't got don't have Puka Nakua and Devontae Adams. That'll help you out if you got those guys, and you got a veteran quarterback who done seen it all. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
that'll help you. But when I mean, Stephon Diggs was pretty much. I mean, he dealing with a breakup during the game, so he not even in the game mentally. So he out. I think he had one catch in the game, and then you got Douglas McHollis. I mean, these guys are. Okay, Stephon had 3 catches for 37 yards. I mean, these guys are not Puka Nakua
Yeah,
and Devontae Adams. They just not. It's a
somebody else
different.
needs to step up. Like even when JSN went
Right,
out, you know what I mean? Like Cooper Cup, he stepped up, in those moments that
right.
JSN was, back in the locker room and in the tent and stuff like that. I feel like you have to know coming into it, they're gonna game plan for who your best players are, even if they're a little bit older or the hot young players. You know what I mean?
Right.
Um, and I really thought they should have taken Cooper Cup a little bit more serious. You know what I mean? I know people thought because he was older, he's a little bit washed, is what they were thinking. I don't know, But Cooper, he's
Well,
still talented now. Don't sleep on him.
yeah. I mean,
Because Jason,
Seattle.
they took him out for the most part. He was like a little bit non-existent in the
Yeah.
game,
I mean, he had less passing yards than Stephon Diggs did.
and that's to
You
be
know,
expected. You're not gonna let him just not get the best of you. But then they
but
had Kenneth Walker,
I
So
mean, Seattle's passing game wasn't great last night. I mean, it was
no, it
it
wasn't
was it
great.
was mediocre. I mean, Cooper Cup led the team in reception, 6 catches, 61 yards. Okay, that's fine, but
Mhm.
Sam Darnold only completed 50% of his passes, barely over 200 yards, and New England left some turnovers out on the field. Sam
Mhm.
Darnold tried to help them out. I was sitting there
I
watching
think
the game.
both teams did.
I was like, these are missed opportunities. Missed opportunities are just as good as turnovers because you gotta have them. That's gonna be the
Mhm.
difference in the ball game at the end of the game.
Yeah,
And Christian Gonzalez, I know he played well. He took some passes, but
he did.
he dropped
I
two
felt bad for
picks.
him. I felt bad for him.
No, and you got to have those because those picks that he dropped led to points for Seattle, and
Mhm.
that it could have changed the outcome of the game if he could have came away with a turnover or two. So Seattle capitalized on their opportunities, and New
Yeah,
England didn't.
you have to.
And when
You
you
have
got a
to.
young quarterback, you got to do everything everything possible to help him out. Defense got to help him out. Special teams got to help him out, and the offensive guys, you got to help him out. And it's very difficult to win football games.
Let me read some of these comments. All right, Caleb said Cardi mad at the refs because her man can't be in the O-line or throw himself the football. Nasir said if this Super Bowl doesn't motivate the Ravens to get their ish together, then continue to be sorry. Super Bowl should have motivated a lot of teams. Yeah, it should. You should motivate no matter what, I think, no matter who gets there. Agree.
Yeah.
CJ Stroud and the Texans really need to have a heart to heart. I definitely agree with you on that. They need to figure something out. Like real talk. Hold on. I'll change it. And then hold up. I wouldn't be surprised if both teams are not in the playoffs next season. Yeah, I wouldn't be because it's how it goes. You know what I mean? Like you're there one season, then you're not there for a few, and then you pop back up 7 years later or something. You know. Drake Mary doesn't need to pull a CJ Stroud on God. What do you mean by that one?
I think he means take a step back next year.
Oh, okay. College football needs to expand their playoffs. It is a better professional league than the NFL, more excitement and storylines. Okay.
They
I
just
feel you on
expanded
that.
it. They just expanded it. They can't keep expanding it.
I mean, what's each his own, you know what I mean? College, you
Right.
know.
Right.
Caleb, 100. And then I didn't know about Cardi and Diggs, and I hope he's not using that as an excuse. I didn't hear him mention anything about Cardi,
No, he didn't
honestly.
mention that excuse, but I mean, I understand. Look, you trying to
But
play
I
in
mean,
the when you
dude,
trying to play in a game of this magnitude, you don't need any distractions.
he's the only one that had a girlfriend or a wife or a fiance or baby mama. You know, like you brought your baby mama there, the other one. So that's on
Right.
you. Like
Right.
Cardi
I'm
B was there
saying you can't.
supporting you. So
Right. You
like,
can't have that type of situation. Ride with
but
who.
that's a him choice though.
Right. That's what I'm
You
saying.
didn't
You
have to
gotta.
have it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm saying, Stefan, you got to ride with who brought you to the dance. Now, after the game, then go ahead and get your side chick and bring her and let her like do your thing, but don't do it while you ride the momentum of Cardi B. You know, Travis Kelce rode the momentum of Taylor Swift. He ain't wait till he got to the Super Bowl, then brought his side chick up. No, you keep riding with what's taking you to the dance. I just don't understand that.
Actually, so I'm gonna move on to one Sammy Ethan, Sam Darnold. Has Sam Darnold and yo, what was that? Sam
Yeah, that
Darnold, your
was
glasses. I was like, what was that? It
yeah.
caught my attention. Has Sam Darnold finally silenced his critics, at least for one season?
Not for a season, but you know, maybe for a half season. You know, the book is still out on Sam Darnold. I mean, the truth of the matter is he's a he's an average quarterback. He's top 15. He's where he's right in the middle. You know, Kirk Cousins. You know that kind of. And Kirk Cousins might have dropped a little bit, but I'm saying he's right, an average quarterback. Seattle won because they got a complete team. You know, the special teams was really good. The
The team
defense was really
sport.
good. They had a really good running game. And you had a quarterback who was solid. He didn't have to be great. We wasn't asking Sam Darnold to be Pat Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen. Joe Burrow. He didn't have to be that. He just needed to be Sam Darnold and not turn the ball over. And sometimes that's good enough to win you a game, especially when you playing on the contract that he's playing under. It allows you to get other players around you to be better. You're not getting paid $250 million, $300 million, and that's sucking up the cap. And now you got to play with a whole bunch of rookies or a whole bunch of journeymen who you're just bringing in to fill out a roster. So that's why teams like to win with rookie quarterbacks who on a rookie salary, or a veteran who's not getting paid a buttload of money, who can just, like Sam Darnold was the perfect quarterback for Seattle. Just like last year, he really was the perfect quarterback for Minnesota.
I wonder how they felt watching. Like how they really felt. Justin Jefferson, he said it was, it was tough, but he obviously was no rooting for him, hoping that he got the win, but I really wonder like how they feel, like real talk, how they feel.
It's
Like if you could be
tough.
a fly on the wall for them conversations with their girlfriend, their mom or sister, I wonder how they really felt watching him get there and
They
win.
had to be hurt. I mean, they had to be hurt because as good as that defense was, as good as Brian Flores had them playing on defense, and as good as the receivers around the quarterback are, when you
Hmm.
talk about Justin Jefferson and Addison and Hockenson and all these guys, and then you got Aaron Jones in the backfield, a solid running back with
Hmm.
Jordan Mason, two-headed monster. All you don't need a Pat Mahomes. You don't need Josh Allen. You don't need Lamar Jackson. You just need a solid quarterback who's a professional. And that's what Sam Darnold could have brought to the team, as opposed to having, a rookie who's still developing and trying to find his way. And also, he can't beat the injury bug. So it was a problem. But Minnesota was really their Super Bowl ready
Hmm.
with the right quarterback in place.
For me, I don't want to hear nothing about Sam Darnold for until like halfway through the season next year. I'm so tired of it. Coming into the season, it was, well, Sam Darnold was in Minnesota, and he had Justin Jefferson, and he had this one, and he had Kevin, and how's it going to be in Seattle, and all these different things. Okay, and then they're winning. Well, let's see what he does, as the season weighs on, and they continue to win. And then, oh, what's he doing in the playoffs? Let's see what he does in the playoffs, And then they won the games. Well, in the NFC Championship, they're going against the Rams and Matthew Stafford, MVP. Let's see if he sees his ghost again. What's going to happen? He'll turn back to who he used to be. Fast forward to the Super Bowl. Well, I mean, the defense is really really good, but can you trust Sam Darnold to not make any mistakes? And I'm like, and then fast forward, they won the whole thing, and Sam Darnold, although he didn't have the most exciting game, and like the stat sheet up, so to speak, he took care of the ball, and did
Right.
enough, manage the game, change the game, and
Exactly.
they won. I'm like, leave
Exactly.
the man alone. It's like I don't want to hear nothing negative at all, because you have teams who have more talented QBs. Lamar Jackson has had really good teams on offense and defense, and they have not gotten it done in the playoffs. Josh Allen's another one, who's super, super talented. I can't stand the defense. I said it for a while, but he's expected to win because of who he is and his talent. You know what I mean? He hasn't
Right.
gotten it done. So I don't want to hear, oh well, it was a defense. It was a defense. Yes, the defense was outstanding. It was really, really freaking phenomenal. But it does not work if Sam's out there playing like absolute trash. You're gonna say,
Agreed.
man, that defense was working, but Sam Darnold stuck up the joint. That's what you're gonna say
Right.
if that was the
Like
case.
CJ Stroud did.
So I'm like, just leave Sam alone. Let him enjoy
Right.
his moment. He may not get back there again next season because it's a whole new season and things happen. Injuries take place and, all these different things, but let him enjoy it, like he did it with not one, but two teams now. He's been consistent in terms of what, 14, 15, 14, 13 wins season,
Mhm.
and maybe he had to go through what he went through, I think, for him to get where he is. Everybody's road and story is different. I'm proud of Sam. I don't know him personally, but I'm very, very happy for him. In the game yesterday, to me, one of the differences was Sam's ability to escape pressure and be able to keep certain drives alive. And I feel like
Yeah,
Drake May, he was just getting knocked on his behind.
he
Sam was
was.
able to move out, and find little windows, to get in there, and extend drives, to put the team in position, to have Kenneth Walker run, and rush. And then the kicker, honestly, we're not giving him enough credit, okay? Because the kicker did everything that he needed to do. He didn't miss not one field goal yesterday, thank God. Because it
Right.
would have been crazy if he was out there missing kicks left and right. He should have really, got some kind of award. We're not giving him enough
Well,
credit,
he
so I'm
didn't
gonna
kick
shout
any
him out.
he didn't kick any long field goals. I mean, I
You
think if he
know,
would have kicked
hey, there was a lot of field
yeah,
goals that were missed this
yeah,
season,
yeah,
and
yeah,
some were not from far back.
but I'm saying if he would have kicked multiple 50-yard field goals, maybe even a 60-yard field goal, I think he could have been in line for the MVP. But he kicked field goals that
Mhm.
people expect you to make, especially considering the conditions were great. It wasn't really no wind. The
Mhm.
temperatures were ideal. So man, he played a good game. He did. Their special teams did their job. They were
Yeah.
good on all three phases of the game. You know, um, two things. I think if Josh Allen had Jackson and Jigba and Cooper Cup in Buffalo, I think who might be. That's the kind of thing that you want personally. You don't. You always complain about they don't have a offense. They need Justin Jefferson. Trade for
The
Justin
offense
Jefferson.
to
Go
me
get
is not
Jetta.
the issue. I mean,
Right.
he absolutely could use a JSN,
Yeah.
Cooper Cup or
A
both.
lot of teams could.
Yeah, I'm not saying that he can't, but when you get to a certain part in the playoffs, when you're going against more complete
Right.
teams,
Exactly.
like the Rams or something like that, you know what I mean? Where their defense is pretty solid, and they have Matthew Stafford. Your defense got to be able to slow somebody like that down, and their defense, it's not giving what it's supposed to give. So,
Yeah.
but we gonna
But I
for them
will
for a while. I'm,
I will
I'm gonna
say
continue
this
to pray.
I will say this about Sam Darnold. It just shows
Sammy
that
Ethan.
Sammy Ethan, it just shows that when you're a young quarterback and you have a rough beginning, it's not over. It's not over. We've seen it with
Yeah.
Sam Darnold. We saw it. Geno Smith, his first 5, 6 years was lost in the sauce, and then he was
Mhm.
revived in Seattle.
Mhm.
Baker Mayfield, his first 5, 6 years was lost in the sauce. Then he went to Tampa Bay. He was revived
Mhm.
in Tampa Bay. Mac Jones looked like he's all of a sudden having a resurgence. You see this type of
Mhm.
thing. So when I think about a guy like Anthony Richardson, this is what I'm saying. Like, you're still young. You got to go grind
Still
it
young.
out and work hard and hustle. But you have an opportunity because you're so young to still get
Yeah.
back on track to being somebody in this league and potentially leading a team somewhere one day. So you just can't give up
Mhm.
because you started out bad in your first 3, 4, 5 years. If you're a young
His
quarterback, you
injuries
just gotta
too are
you
part
gotta
of it as
keep
well.
right,
He can't stay
right.
healthy.
You gotta keep grinding. You gotta keep grinding and plugging away. And eventually, if you do that and keep your head down and keep your nose clean, man, who knows what's on the other side of adversity?
I'm also just highlight really quickly how for me I think it's really really important when you get drafted, to go. I'm not gonna say so much to teams. When you get drafted high, that means a team is not necessarily a good team, but to at least go to an organization who has their minds on straight in terms of trying to rebuild, and build a contending roster. You know, Sam going, to the Jets. Obviously, the Jets are just not good. You know what I mean? I don't know what's going on with the Jets because the organization's not good. To me, a lot of their problems start from the top, before we even get
Yeah, yeah,
further
yeah.
down to the coaching and the roster and everything else. But teams and system and where you go absolutely matters, for your career. I think about Zach Wilson. I really feel like if he had started someplace else with a different coach, maybe a Sean Payton, who, by the way, I can't stand, or he went to Minnesota, with Kevin, would he be where he is now? And we'll never know, but I just wonder how it would have worked out for him.
Yeah, some guys just not good. Luke and Zach Wilson's just one of those guys.
Yeah, but he
He's
doesn't.
one of the
The
worst
thing about
quarterbacks
me,
I've ever seen in my life.
but
I just
again,
don't
it's
think
also
nobody can work with him. He did go play. He did. Sean Payton did
I
have
don't
him in
believe no he's
and got
like
rid
he
of
can't
him.
be worked.
Yeah, I'm saying
Say again.
I'm saying he was in Denver with Sean Payton competing with Jarrett Stidham to be the backup, and Sean Payton thought enough of Zach Wilson to not play him down. So I mean, sometimes I don't know, but to your
Well,
point,
Jarrett Stidham
Zach
was
Wilson,
he wanted Jarrett Stidham, like he
right?
had already had a relationship before with Jarrett Stidham, so he probably wasn't gonna beat him out for that backup position. But I just wonder how it would have looked if he went with somebody else. And like I said, we'll never
Right.
know because it didn't happen the way it did. But it makes a difference where you go.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
really does.
and he's still young. I mean, Zach Wilson keep grinding out. He has a smug
Right
attitude,
timing, right place.
right? And you got to have your head on. You got to be willing to grind it out and work.
Hmm.
Zach Wilson has the attitude of a kid who is enabled. Like a rich kid who feels like
Hmm.
he's entitled to something. You can't
Hmm.
have that kind of mindset in NFL. They don't care who you are. Can you win football games? That's at the end of the day. If you can win football games, great. We'll put you in there. If you can't win football games, you got to earn it. We're not giving you anything. So, the Jets gave him a job and he blew it, but he's still young. And if he ever changes his mentality a lot, because he
When
has
was the
all the
last
arm,
time
he has
somebody
all the
looked
talent in
good?
the world.
Who looked good as a Jet like in the past few seasons as the QB?
Nobody looks good with the Jets. Nobody
You
looks
know,
good with the Jets. I
I
mean,
don't think they serious about winning. You know, like they try to pass it. Oh, we got Aaron Rodgers. You know, like
right,
you're
right.
not serious. Stop it.
No, no, nobody looks good
Um.
with the Jets. Even Brett Favre tailed off at
Uh.
the end.
Nasir said Brad Johnson won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Caleb
You-
said until next season, talking about Sam, then he'll have a couple bad games and media will even allow like they always do. But yeah, I mean, every QB has a couple of bad games. You know,
Right,
like nobody like just has like a flawless season where they don't have any hiccups. You know what I mean? If they do, it usually comes in the playoffs. You know, at some point, it usually catches back up with you. Um,
right.
Injuries change your whole season. Yeah, especially depending on
Yeah.
who the heck is injured. That's for sure. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, then we all have a Merry Christmas. I haven't heard that one before. That's different. Okay. Anthony Richardson is going to figure it out soon. I believe in the young blood. Let me find the series using words like young blood. I feel like you would say something like the young king or something like that this year. Let me find out. I mean, I hope that he does figure it out. More importantly, I hope he gets a chance to figure it out someplace, because you know he kind of played around with opportunity. It may not come back the same way. Can't take it.
Well,
Can't take it for granted.
yeah, you can't take it for granted. I just hope that the young man, puts the work in. I think he will have another opportunity.
I hope so. I liked him, you know, in college, you know. So I'm really hoping that he does, and I hope when he does, you know, he's taking it more seriously, and I also hope he can stay healthy, because it seems like he just cannot stay healthy. I don't know what's going on, man. He come out for practice himself warming up. You know, it's like, oh, he pulled a
Right,
hamstring. I'm like, just warming up, nobody around, no
right,
contact. He pulled a hamstring. He's out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. I'm like, dang, he was just running by himself, jogging. What happened?
right.
You know,
Yeah.
so we gonna see. I don't know what's going on, man. Better nutrition, I don't know. Get some of those massages, you know, not the kind Deshaun was getting, you know, but a
I mean, the
massage, you
ones
know.
the ones that Sean was getting were working. I mean, when he stopped getting them, then it things.
They may
Let the
have
man
worked,
get his
but not
massages, man.
necessarily.
Let that
It
man
didn't
get
help
his
him, you know,
massages.
when he got to Cleveland.
Right, cause
Say
he
it again.
stopped getting them when he got to Cleveland. That was the problem. He was getting all them massages in
Well,
Houston.
well, you know, maybe CJ needs to go not to that massage parlor, but start getting some massages. Maybe it'll help him.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
He need to call Deshaun.
He just need to be careful. CJ, if you see this, be careful about your massages, young man. Okay, we don't want you to have any kind of issues. You know, you want to be healthy and and happy, and
Right.
successful on the field. No legal issues. No legal issues at all. All right. So after the game, it was announced, or he announced it, Clint Kubiak, that he will be moving on to the Raiders, head coaching position. He announced that yeah, took it. You know, so he's
Yeah.
heading on. Now I'm happy he got an opportunity, to be a head coach, and I hope it works out for him. Mendoza, I think, is the expectation that he's going to go there. He won't have the same team though. It's not going to look the same around him.
No, it's not gonna look
So I
literally
hope
the
that
same.
people give him some more time. Because sometimes people say, "Oh, well, you won Super Bowl last year." You know, it's like, well, he had a whole different roster and a whole different situation. This ain't that. That ain't this. So, How do you think this first season is gonna go with Clint Kubiak and Mendoza? As
It's
that's the
gonna it,
expectation anyway.
it, it's gonna be terrible. It's just gonna be
Oh
terrible. I
my.
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean, you just don't got the weapons, and then they're talking about training their best player, which is dumb to me. Yeah, I don't.
I agree. Bye bye, Matt.
I, I don't understand how a team gets better by trading the best player. Now you're looking in the draft for a guy who can be what you already just gave away. So makes no sense to me. But Clint Kubiak is one of those nepo babies, and he's one of the guys that teams hire instead of getting maybe a qualified black head coach. You go to a guy who his father coaches, his brother coaches. They never played football. They just under this nepo tree, and so he's going to get an opportunity, and maybe he'll succeed, and maybe he won't. I mean, his father didn't fare well as a head coach. His father was always a better offensive coordinator than he was a head coach. His brother was always a better coordinator than he was a coach. So, you know, maybe he can break the mold, but I just look at Clint Kubiak as a nepo baby who ran a good offense. The offense is good. Your Shanahan's ran it. Your daddy ran it. And you come from a good tree. I would say
Mm-hmm.
that. But when it comes to um, understanding the game from a player's perspective, he
Mm-hmm.
don't have that. And this is one of those good old boy network hires. So
Yeah.
I wish him the best, but I don't have high expectations for Clint Kubiak with the Raiders.
Even if he didn't come from that nepo tree, as you say, I think people sometimes, the expectations are so high and it's so unreal. Like if he was staying in Seattle, I could, and everybody stayed, I could understand them expecting them to run it back or at least get super close to it. But he's not, he's leaving that situation. Raiders are in a
Right.
whole different situation. You got a rookie QB coming in. I don't mind them getting rid of Max, said that a few weeks ago. Me, you weren't here talking about it because of what you can get back in return. Max, obviously, you like Max, right? He's one hell of a defensive player, but at this point right
Yeah.
now, where the franchise organization is, you're nowhere close to like being in contention. So there's no point in wasting that man's time unless he's okay with being there for a rebuild, until you guys get it together and start being able to possibly contend, then there's no need to keep him there. Like what you can get in return for him, I think I would rather do that. And if I'm Max, let me go someplace else where I have a chance to win. I don't want to waste my good years out. If I'm Max, now Max might want to he might want to stay there if he wants to stay, and stay in
Well,
there and get his money, and he don't really care about winning because not everybody care about winning, you
right,
know.
right. Max
And if he
cares about
doesn't,
him.
oh, okay, so then yeah,
But
then he
it's
needs to
not his decision
come out,
though. This is
you know.
the front office decision. The front
Of course,
office,
yeah,
they if Max had it his way, he'll be in Oakland. He's just like Miles Garrett in that. I want to win and lose with this organization. But the front office, and I just don't get it. That's why I don't think Tom Brady is necessarily doing a good job in his role,
I said that before
and
Tom Brady was
and
announced
and
to be more hands on.
and the the general man, those guys are not doing a good job because you know people say, oh well, we're gonna trade Max Crosby because we're gonna be able to get something. What are you gonna be able to get for him? Okay, you're gonna get some draft picks that you don't know if they're gonna pan out or not. you can you can mess around and get two draft picks for him, and both of those guys flop, and you don't get Max
That is
Crosby
true,
back.
but
Like
having Max there is not putting
you
you any closer to winning.
you
We've
you
seen that already.
no, he's putting you closer to winning than not having him. Your defense is gonna need a Max Crosby. You're gonna part of winning football games that we just saw last night is the ability to put pressure on the quarterback. Well, who puts pressure on the quarterback better than Miles Garrett and Max Crosby? You
If that
need
was the
those.
case
Those
for
guys
both
don't grow on
Charles and
trees. You're
Max,
not gonna
Brady would be better.
right. You're not gonna get a Max Crosby back. That's not gonna happen. Jerry Jones, you're not gonna get a Michael Parsons back. You can now in Jerry's case, he has more than one hole to fill, and maybe that's the case with Oakland too. Maybe we're gonna try to fill multiple holes with with these picks. Maybe they can get three first
Yeah,
round
they
draft
need
picks
to.
for Max Crosby like Jerry did, and then we can fill. But this is not three first round picks in this next year's draft. This is gonna be first round picks over the years. Like I don't know
Hmm.
what Oakland's gonna do. I'm not even sold that they're gonna draft Mendoza with the first pick. That's not a foregone conclusion. They got a whole bunch of
Well, yes, what I
evaluation
said, if
to do.
if they do.
And if they do, they're gonna,
Hmm.
get in the situation with a rookie quarterback with a bad offensive line, no wide receivers. Yeah, you got a young running back and you got a good tight end, so you can start there, but you don't have much around them. So I just don't see it. I just don't.
Exactly, and then letting go of
But
Max Crosby to get
but
stuff
I
around him. That's the whole
But I will say, I didn't think that with Washington either, and they got Jaden Daniels, and when one season they
city.
turned it around with Jaden Daniels in his first
Uh huh.
season, where Washington was, and then Jaden Daniels' first season,
Hmm.
they turned it around. So in the NFL, it's tricky. It's really tricky. Just
Yeah.
because you're bad one year don't mean you're gonna be bad the next year. But I just, I don't see how Oakland is going to turn this around with a rookie quarterback, and you're going to get rid of your best player. It makes no sense to me. But I wish them the best.
It
And that's
it
Vegas.
depends
I keep
on what
calling them
you get in
Oakland, but it's
return.
Vegas. I'm sorry.
It depends on what you get in return for him. And you, if you're gonna get rid of him, you really got to make sure as a GM, Tom Brady and the GM, whoever is gonna be involved, ownership, like you really got to do your homework. You don't just give somebody like Max Crosby. You haven't done your homework, your due diligence as best as possible to really evaluate these players, look at other rosters and who could possibly be up for willing to trade and things of that nature. You can't
Right.
just get rid of him and just kind of half-ass, the draft process play around because it's like what you get rid of him for, you know. But like I said, for me, I want to see Max go to a contender, you know what I mean, and really, be in position to win. He's too talented to me to just stay there. But like I said, if he don't, I don't know if he might not care about winning. He might be like Damian Lillard. I want to stay here, and I'm willing to stay my whole career and never win if that's a thing, because some people like that. He
Right.
gotta live with it no matter what happens. So
Well, I see the comment says Max
Miles
needs
Garrett,
to pull a Harden and go to a contender. Uh, Chances are he will get traded to a contender because
I'm
if you're
trying to
talking about
go. I'm trying to. What's going on? I can't change the comment.
if you're talking about a first round pick, no team in the bottom and no team in the top 10 is going to trade for a Max Crosby because that's a high pick. They're going to take a chance that they're going to get a young guy who's a lot younger who has the potential to be a Max Crosby. So chances are he'll go to a contender,
Mm-hmm.
but that's the problem with to me with the trade because you're trading him to a team that's going to have the 26th, 27th, 28th pick. Well,
Mm-hmm.
that's a harder evaluation to make than taking a guy who's in the top 10 with all the athletic ability in the world. Sometimes guys fall down to you, but we'll see what they do. It just never, it just baffles me when teams trade their best player and be like, we're trying to get better. Like, you don't get better by trading your best player. You build with them. And you look at Dallas this year, they traded their best defensive player and they had the
How
worst
old is
defense in the
Max
league.
Crosby? Well, the
Uh,
defense wasn't doing what's supposed to do even with him there. It wasn't like they were like overly like just blowing people out with the defense when Michael Parsons was there. And I like Micah.
right.
Um,
But they weren't
he's
at the
28. Right?
yeah,
He's gonna
oh
be
yeah.
29. So he's getting a little bit older.
Yeah, he'll be 29
Max
in
Crosby.
August.
So
Right. And
you
that's
really
close to your
gotta,
birthday.
yeah. Shouts to Leos. Hey, hey. You really gotta be mindful. As you because once you start getting 30ish and they're looking at you like you're getting
28 is
kind of
his
old,
prime. He's in
so
at 28, you're in your prime. You train the prime Max Crosby,
say
who
it
who
again. You're
who
clicking it out on my end.
I
Say it again.
said
I'm sorry. Say it again.
I said 28 is his prime. So they're training the prime Max Crosby, and he wants to be
Oh,
there. That's huge. When the guy wants to be there, yeah.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine. Yeah, it kind of froze up a little bit on my end, but you know.
Okay. On my end, it was like spinning. I'm sorry. So say what you were saying. I didn't hear any of it.
Yeah, I was saying at 28, he's in his prime. So they're gonna trade a prime Max Crosby, a guy who wants to be there. That says a lot when a guy wants to be there, wants to be in that locker room, want to be on your team and build and grow, and he's in his prime and he's your best player. I'm not getting rid of that guy. But Tom, it was reported. I
Has
don't
he
know if
said
it's
that he
true.
wants to stay and
No,
do a rebuild? Did he say that?
well, Max Crosby, he's continued to be on the path that he doesn't want to go anywhere. But like I was just about to say, I was hearing reports, and I
Mhm.
don't know if these reports are true because I didn't check the reporter to make sure he had credibility that's up to my
Mhm.
standard. But Tom Brady was telling Max Crosby he'll
No, I
never
was
pay
just
another
wondering if he
down.
had said like on a podcast or something.
Oh no, I haven't seen Max Crosby on a podcast. Just based on the reports that I've been hearing
Okay.
over the past year. He doesn't want to go anywhere. It's just like
Mhm.
Miles Garrett doesn't want to go anywhere. He wants to be in Cleveland. Like you do your best to try to win with those guys. Uh, I don't know, but whatever Oakland, Las Vegas
Look,
decides to do, it's gonna be on
me,
them. I'm not a Las Vegas Raiders fan, but I wish them the best.
Oakland Raiders, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna see how this plays out. Like I said, I mean, you can keep him there, because you like Max and he wants to stay. But if you're not winning anything and nothing's really moving at all, and it's just, you might as well, get rid of him and get some younger players. Like I said, he'll be 29. Time moves fast. You know what I mean? So we gonna see. We'll see what they
We'll
do.
see. Right, right. We'll see what they do.
I don't know what's going on. My thing is freezing up all of a sudden now. Can you guys still hear me?
I believe they can hear you. I can hear you.
Can you guys still hear me? My thing is freezing up on my end. I do not know why. What is going on? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
I don't know what's going on. My thing on my end, it keeps like freezing, and I'm like, I can't see nobody. I can't hear nothing. I don't
Yeah,
know what's happening tonight. I'm
it's
sorry, you
freezing a little
guys.
bit. Yeah, your camera is freezing a little bit.
Hi, DJ.
Shout out to Larry Pinkins
Yes, I
in
can.
the
You can
chat.
hear me.
I see you in the chat, Larry Pinkins. I see you in the chat.
Yes, I see you. Who's a old? He's an old Gen Z. Oh, you talking about Max, DJ?
Yeah, I don't know who the Gen Z's are, but I have to look it up on my phone to find out who's Gen Millennial and Z and G and X and
I don't know what's going on. I'm starting to get really frustrated. I don't know what's happening. What's going on?
yeah, but Larry Pinkins. Yeah, I can hear you. I can
I
hear
don't
you.
know what's going on. It keeps freezing on my end. Now. It's like it keeps freezing and circling. I have no idea what happened. Ted, what you were saying? Because I didn't hear any of it.
Oh, 1997 to 2012 is Gen Z. So
Hmm.
1997, well,
Yes, indeed.
them some young folks
All
and
right,
who
y'all. I don't
if
know
they were
what's
born in
happening
ni-
tonight.
if they were born in 1997, them young folk. I guess that's Max Crosby then. Damn.
Young folks.
All right. But he is 28, so he's still a baby. We're gonna see what the Raiders decide to do. If they're gonna go with Mendoza with the first pick, I think they're gonna need to evaluate him very closely. He might need to come to the combine. I'm not sure if he's gonna go to the combine or he not gonna go to the combine. Do I Larry Pink do I think they need to trade Sam? Sam who? What Sam you talking about? Let me know what Sam you talking about so then I can answer your question. But as far as the Raiders go, I'm not necessarily sold that Geno is that bad. I just think that the offensive line was so terrible. Then they took away his best weapons on offense, and Brock Bowers were hurt. That I don't know if getting rid of him is the answer, or maybe you bring in a young guy and have him sit behind Geno for a year. Maybe Geno is your backup and he's a Kirk Cousin type situation where he's highly paid, or do you get rid of him and take the hit in the salary, and then Geno will be a commodity somewhere else because so many teams need a starting caliber quarterback. So the Raiders got a whole lot of questions to answer, and we're gonna see how they do it. Starting Hell, starting in March, really, because March 13th is going to be the day where you can cut certain veterans and save money on the salary cap. So we'll see what they do.
Bye, Gino. I've seen enough. I saw
Yeah,
enough.
but Gino last year, so
I'm gonna say bye, Gino. I've seen enough.
because
I've seen enough.
you don't want dead cap money. That don't help your team get better. But hey, we've seen teams cut high paid
Yeah.
quarterbacks before, and some teams like Cleveland elect not to cut their high paid quarterback. So we'll see what decisions they make. But so far, since Tom Brady has been in Oakland, they haven't made good decisions at all. So I'm not faithful in anything they do going forward.
All right, y'all. While this is still going, I don't know what happened over freezing up on my end. I missed some of the conversation.
Well, somebody
I'll switch
asked
to this
me.
topic.
Oh well, this is a topic a
My
lot of
black
people,
brothers,
definitely in Atlanta, definitely
my
in
black
Atlanta. A lot
brothers,
of people.
y'all.
This is all they
Don't
talking
don't
about.
get. Hold on. Let me play this real quick. Go ahead. You said what you're gonna say. I can still hear you. I'm just gonna share my screen.
No, I was saying the next topic is a topic that's all they're talking
I can
about
still
in
hear you. Go
Atlanta.
ahead, Nani.
A lot of people in Atlanta believe the Falcons are cursed, and one of the reasons they believe they're cursed is because
Really?
because the Falcons, they played in the Georgia Dome, and then they were getting the Mercedes-Benz Stadium built, but there was a church there. There was a black church sitting on that property, and they didn't want to move. The people at the church didn't want to move so they can build a stadium. Eventually, they took the money. The church people took the money and they tore down the church. They moved it down the street and they built the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. So a lot of people thinking that the Falcons are cursed because they built their stadium on a church ground, which I'm not buying it, but this is what's going on in Atlanta right now.
Also developing here at noon, an NFL player is now out of jail after bonding out following his arrest over the weekend in Doral.
He is accused of stalking his WNBA girlfriend and purpose live outside the jail in West Miami-Dade.
And she's telling us a little bit about what those charges are that the NFL player is now facing right now.
Now, James Pierce Jr. facing a long list of felony charges, including battery, domestic violence. This all happening after a 3-year relationship recently came to an end. But Saturday morning, the situation took a violent turn. Atlanta Falcons star linebacker James Pierce Jr. bonding out of jail Sunday night with a white towel draped across his face, but quickly approached by 3 men in suits who picked him up. They appeared to exchange words with him, getting Pierce to remove the towel and uncover his face.
James, is there anything you want to address about the charge?
Do you want to Pierce dodging questions, walking out in a hurry with no comment to his domestic battery charge. The alleged victim is Los Angeles Sparks forward Rakia Jackson, a rising star in the WNBA. On Sunday, a judge asking questions while ordering him to stay away from her.
Okay.
A newly released police report shedding light on what happened Saturday morning. Jackson noticing Pierce's Lamborghini SUV following her. The report goes on to say when stopped at an intersection, he got out of his vehicle and tried to open her driver's side door. According to police, she drove away, but Pierce continued speeding after her. She drove to the Doral Police Department for help, but he tried to stop her. At one point, rear-ending her, then intentionally colliding head-on with her vehicle.
Do you have any need to return to pick up any personal belongings?
Judge, I would just leave everything there. Whatever's there, if it's there, it's fine.
A police report just released this morning shares more details about the situation that unfolded Saturday morning. A woman reporting someone was following her in a white Lamborghini around Northwest 99th Avenue in Doral. The report says when officers arrived, they located Pierce standing outside the vehicle, but he didn't comply with officer commands. The linebacker lighting up social media over the weekend, but it's his actions off the field capturing national attention. From this police chase morale to this dramatic takedown, roughly half a dozen officers spotted wrangling with the 6'5", 245-pound player before his arrest. Now he's returning to Atlanta with a list of felony charges, including aggravated domestic battery, aggravated battery on a law enforcement officer, and stalking.
Were you stalking her?
That police report also says that Rakia Jackson was trying to drive to the Doral Police Department, but at that point in time, Pierce slammed into her 2 different times. We reached out to the Atlanta Falcons for further comment. They say they do not have any more comments at this time. Reporting live in West Miami-Dade.
Well, that's my first time like hearing the clip, watching it with y'all. I don't like to listen to clips ahead of time, so that was a lot. That was a lot.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you go first. I'm still gathering my thoughts.
It's unfortunate. Like I was talking to one of my partners the other day. A lot of people think because a guy makes it to the NBA or he makes it to the NFL that he's a cool guy. But you got a lot of squares, man. You got a lot of squares who play in the basketball. You got a lot of squares who play football. And this is behavior that's unbecoming of anybody that really it's hard to respect a guy like that.
Anybody.
Right.
Anybody. I don't care if you're rich or not.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Period. It's hard to respect anybody who has that. Like, come on, man. If she don't want to holler at you, man, let her go, man. Especially you in the NFL, you got money, man. You got your pick of the litter, bro. Like, let her go. Let her move forward with her life. It ain't, if she says she don't want to deal with you, she done blocked you and she done all this. She probably disrespecting you. Ain't no sense in dealing with that. Just move forward. Go ahead. Take your Lambo and go around the corner and pick something else up if you need something right now. I just don't understand this type of behavior. This is a guy who already had character issues coming into the league. And now you got this. Like, I hope his career isn't over, but I think he definitely needs to sit down. I don't feel sympathetic if he has to be out a whole year. I don't feel sympathetic if the Falcons decide to move on and go in a different direction. He brought this on himself. If everything is true, now some of the stuff I don't know, his lawyers are gonna, they're gonna litigate it. But some of the stuff you can't. I mean, I saw the video.
Yeah.
We see your car and crashing in her car. We see you with the police and they tussling you down, trying to get you.
I didn't see him crashing into her car. I didn't see that video. Right,
but that's some stuff you just.
Did you see?
I mean, it's on it's on a police report. Only thing that I don't know that's gonna be litigated is the domestic violence part. Now, if you crashed into a car, then that's gonna qualify. If you hit a police, it's on a report that he ran into a police officer's knee and all this kind of stuff trying to get away. These are things that's gonna be hard to beat. Now whether or not you
ran into
I don't know.
Knee.
Right. That's what I was reading earlier. So I just don't know. I just don't see a way. I mean, he's definitely getting suspended. We can go ahead and chalk that up. How many games? It's yet to be seen. Ray Rice got 6. I mean, not Ray Rice, but Rice from Kansas City got 6 games for leaving the scene of a crime.
Oh, Rasheed.
Right. Rasheed Rice got 6 games for wrecking his car and leaving the scene of a crime. This is way worse than that. You know what I'm saying? This is on some Kareem Hunt type stuff. When Kareem Hunt had the P. Diddy tape.
Rasheed Rice, Go ahead.
I was saying Kareem Hunt had the P. Diddy tape before P. Diddy had the tape of him kicking the girl in the hallway of the hotel.
Mhm.
And it led to him being suspended for almost a year. And Kansas City Chiefs let him go, and he ended up going to Cleveland. This is the same situation where I see it minimal for James Pierce. I can see him getting suspended for almost a year, maybe 12 games. And I can see the Falcons, either trading him or letting him go. And he winds up somewhere else trying to, redeem his character and redeem his career. But this is bad. This is not good.
Well, going back to Rasheed Rice, his girlfriend, ex-girlfriend now, baby mother, she released some pictures, of bruises and, alleged that he put hands on her. So he got something else that he's dealing with aside from what happened last season, so I don't know what's going to come of that. If anything, more suspensions, they're going to let him go. We'll see, I guess, as time goes on. As it pertains to James Pierce, I don't know what it is. I feel like this younger generation is so temperamental. It's like you cannot say no, you can't be told no, you can accept no, you can't move on. It's just like it has to go someplace else. I don't know what happened in their relationship. I legit saw him with her a jersey on supporting her at one of the Unrivaled games not too long ago. So I don't know what transpired, what shifted that fast. So I saw her with him, at the draft and everything. So this is some years they've been dating. For it to come to this kind of end, I'm just really wondering what the heck happened. That he really felt like he just had to get her to talk to him, that he had to run into her car. So allegedly, if that is true, to get her attention and put his life in harm's way, put her life in harm's way potentially. Ultimately, playing that kind of game with cops, and you got 7 cops holding down, and you're resisting arrest. That doesn't go too well nowadays. I'm glad that nothing bad happened to him, but that situation alone could have really went really left. So I don't know. But I do think that he should be suspended. He needs to sit down and refocus. You know what I mean? Because that's just crazy. That kind of stuff can't happen. You're young. Like you're young. And even if you're not an NFL player, NBA player, you're still young. You got time. He's not a bad looking young man. There's plenty of women out there who are pretty. Like you don't have to, stay with one person or beg one person to stay with you. So I don't know. It's just I didn't hear about any character issues he had prior to the NFL. But if he did have them, then he needs to work on it. If he got an anger issue, I don't know what's going on with him, but he needs to figure that out expeditiously.
Yeah, I'm glad that she's okay. This could have went really bad for her.
Yeah, I'm about to say the same thing. Yeah.
And she could have been hurt. She could have been.
Yeah,
injured,
I mean, you run into her car, you could have really hurt her.
Right. So
Yeah,
I'm
could have hurt
I'm
yourself too.
hoping
Yeah,
that
you could have hurt
she's
somebody else.
okay.
Oh no, an innocent bystander.
Right. And I don't know. Sometimes, and I don't know her. I don't know their situation. I'm not really trying to get involved in it, but I do understand that sometimes, women can, get to a point where, they say things to you and they talk to you a certain kind of way. But once it get to that point, if you feel, that disrespected, you just gotta let her go. You just gotta move forward. The respect is not there. It's time to move on. And being with somebody for 3 years, that's a long time. You do have a sense of attachment to that person, and sometimes it's very difficult to let go. I get it, but there's a line that you just cannot cross. You just can't cross it, bro. And you gotta move forward. The world is not yours. She's not yours. Definitely if y'all not married, you ain't put tied nothing to it that said that she's yours. She's for the streets, bro. You gotta let her go. And I just really hate it for him because man, he just had a great rookie season. And he was one of the pieces when I was talking about the Falcons and what I believe about what they can do next year. He was one of the reasons why, because he's on that defense and Albright is back and they're gonna build upon what they did last year. I was looking at him as a guy who can get 11, 12 sacks for the next 3 or 4 years, consecutively, 5 years. He's one of those type of players. But I'm not one of those guys. I don't think football trumps character, and I don't care how
No,
good you
I
are,
don't think anything trumps character.
because I came up like I've seen things like this before. I mean, Ray Caruth. I don't know if you're familiar with Ray Caruth, but Ray Caruth killed his girlfriend and hid in the trunk. And they caught him, and he went to prison for the rest of his life.
Good.
He was a wide receiver for the Carolina Panthers, really good. I mean, he had a potential to be one of the better wide receivers in the league. We saw Henry Ruggs a few years ago, high draft pick by the Raiders, vehicular homicide in prison. Like you really have to be mindful of your actions. Just because you're an NFL player or a star athlete doesn't mean that you are above any kind of repercussions and consequences. So, I hope the young man get his life together. He's still young, so he has an opportunity. But man, first things first, you need to beat these charges. You need to try to avoid prison time, because that's what he's looking at. He's looking at legit prison time. And if you go to prison for 4 or 5 years, your NFL career is over.
Going through some of these comments, Falcons don't have a team chaplain. You're trying to team chaplain? Team chaplain or counselor should be accessible to all players. Heartbreak is common, so to go to that extreme requires therapy and maybe possible medication. Because that's really, really excessive. People get broken up with every single day. That's nothing new. And if you act like that when someone wants to leave, that's not normal. You gotta do something about that now. You can't trade 11 sacks, 10 QB hits. If he's locked up, I guess they won't have a choice, will they?
Right.
Because he won't be there regardless.
You can't trade somebody who's locked up. Right.
The man was in love, and I would assume that she cared about him as well. I mean, but as a woman, you know what I mean. I don't know what happened. Something happened for her to say, you know what, I'm done. Now maybe he got caught talking to somebody, and she was like, I'm done with you. You blocked. Come pick up your crap. You know what I mean? And he's trying to plead his case, like, no, hear me out. I made a mistake. Won't happen again. I don't know. Something definitely took place for them to go from where they were, and then here. Or perhaps they could have had, I don't know them, perhaps they could have had, a up and down tumultuous relationship for the past 3 years, and it's just now, coming to the forefront because of, now being the WNBA and in the NFL. It may not have been the first time that they had, a crazy, situation where it got out of control. You don't know what goes on behind closed doors, I don't know, but I will say that whatever happened that led to this, it's just time to move on. It really, really is. This is not how he normally behaves, and he finds himself that love struck that he needs to now drive in the cars to get her attention, for her to hear him out. You need to leave. You need to go.
Man, what's love got to do with
don't
it?
risk your freedom in your career, for love, because if she don't want you no more, she wants somebody else. You're gonna be out here with somebody else, and you're gonna be in the jail watching the football games, looking at like, damn, that
Right.
could have been me. So, or that was me. Like this. Move on, young man, move on. And for her, it's so embarrassing nowadays. Like, one thing about not being in the public eye, and keeping your relationship away from the public, you can deal with things privately. There's like no privacy here. Everything is all over the place. It's so public. She's playing on rival. You got everybody looking at you, asking questions. Are you okay? What's going on? What happened? She can't just focus and play basketball for right now, because I'm pretty sure she don't feel safe. And it's really, really sad and unfortunate. I don't know how this is going to turn out. It's just time to move on, no matter what happens.
Man, ain't that much love in the world.
Do not go back. Don't pick up the phone. Don't pick up the phone. Like, hey, I'm sorry. I'm sorry too. I love you too. Like, it's really time to let it go.
She blocked him. his stuff ain't even getting through to him. Like, come on, bro. Like, I don't know. Love ain't got nothing to do with this with your
Well, you
baby.
can't call somebody. You can call somebody off the phone with that. Like
Yeah,
you can block.
he
You can other ways to get
yeah, he
around it.
was
You know what I
calling
mean? Like,
he was calling her from alternate numbers and all that kind of stuff. Come on, bro. That's some square stuff, man. I just don't.
I didn't hear about that. Okay,
Yeah,
so then, yeah.
This is from her social media page. She posted on her social media page some of the stuff that she's been dealing with.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay.
And right, and I was reading. I was like,
Okay.
damn, if she's telling the truth now she can be lying. I don't never just go ahead and believe what she gonna say. But if she telling the truth, come on, bro, like. And she willing to go out on social media on you and tell all the embarrassing things you're doing. Let it go. This is you can't win this one.
No, it's because it's not gonna be a win situation. We saw him getting arrested by the police, all these different things, so he's not gonna win in the public view. But for me, I'm wondering like, why are you posting? I'm the kind of person I want to know what led to that. Like, if you're gonna put something out there, then tell me the whole truth and don't tell me nothing. I want to know everything that happened. I don't want to know your side of it. Tell me the whole side, not just your version of the events. And that's just who I am.
Sides. It's three sides to every story. It's his side, her side, and the truth. So he's gonna have his say. Some people not willing
to say what they did wrong, though. I want don't just tell me what he did wrong. Tell me also what you did wrong too.
That's what I'm saying. It's her side, his side, and the truth. Now she kind of put a little bit of her side out on social media, so we gotta wait to hear his side. He's gonna have his say. He's gonna tell this side maybe, and then the truth is somewhere in the middle of that, But regardless of what the truth is, your actions, the things they're inexcusable. I don't care what she did.
Yeah,
your actions are inexcusable. So I'm ready to let the courts handle it. More information. This is going to be one of the biggest stories going for the next few months. This is going to be the biggest story.
So he's saying he's innocent. I see he got 3 lawyers around him, 3 white lawyers. They're probably Jewish. So he should be in good hands. I'm not even joking. Like they, they gonna make sure they put him in the best position possible.
Well, what is the lawyers
guilty
gonna
or
say?
not? Maybe.
What do you expect his lawyers to say? Oh, he's dead wrong. He's guilty. They're not gonna say that, right? So we're gonna see.
But you got also, you got to prove that you're innocent.
Right.
Too. You not just say it. You got to also show some stuff to show that you're innocent. So they must be confident enough that they can prove that this is not what people think it is. So, like I said, I look forward, to seeing like how it all folds out, and I really pray that mentally and emotionally, like she'll be okay, and he needs to be okay too. You know what I mean? Go talk to somebody. Go pray. Talk to your mom. Go spend some time in a different country. I don't know, like go shave your head. I don't know, do something.
He need to come holler at me, man. Come holler at me, man. Come holler at me. I'll tell you how this thing goes, man.
Too.
We need to have a seminar for the young man and for all the young men out there who got these type of issues, like and just tell you how to conduct yourself when you dealing with these type of things.
Generation's unhinged.
Right.
No, they're not. The generation's unhinged though. They have they have no patience. Everybody's ready to kill somebody off of the smallest things. I'm like, what's going on in the world, man? Y'all need to chill. Folks are just angry too.
Yeah.
Like mental health situations going around. People are angry. Like somebody got robbed in a Costco parking lot for their groceries. It's just people are just desperate right now, and just so much going on.
It's robbing season.
I don't know.
It is what it
groceries.
Is.
Come on now.
I will say, but that it happens. ATM. At ATM, you caught slipping. I mean, anything can happen to you.
I understand the ATM. I understand that, but in the parking lot, you rob me for my groceries, not my car.
Yeah. You got the
like you taking my chicken, my bread.
Right. Your groceries are useful. Your car not really as useful as the old groceries when you really think about it. Like I can eat those, right now. I ain't got to worry about car insurance and the tag and somebody, coming to get me. I got these groceries. I'm gone. Once I eat it, once it's in my belly, I can't get that back to you. It is what it is. you know. But last thing on him, I
No, but if
say,
you get caught, you can have that prison chicken.
yeah, man. But you know, it's a win-win situation. If you that hungry, you either steal to eat groceries from them and eat that, or you get caught and you go to jail and you still get a meal. Either way it go, you're gonna get fed. You
How
know, it's
about
a
getting a
win-win
job?
situation. I agree
What
with
about a
you.
job? People are so damn entitled. Get a
Yeah,
job.
yeah. People don't want
Like,
to
go
work,
get a
man.
job.
People don't want to get no
It's
gig.
hard for all of us.
I feel you. I
Shoot,
feel you.
like
I
15
feel you.
bucks.
It's hard out there,
You know,
man.
like,
Right. I feel you. But you know, I just hope that because he ain't just dealing with her side of things, he's also dealing with police testimony. And so, you know, they got a lot to prove as far as proving his innocence. So, you know, like I said, I wish him the best.
yeah.
And you know, we'll see what happens going forward. I'm pretty sure, like I said, this will be something that we'll have to revisit again as more information and details come out about the situation.
Hold on, let me respond to this. What him being a bad looking man got to do anything? I said he's not a bad looking man. My point was is that he's not bad looking. Even if he was, he's successful. And typically, when you have money coming in, you can find you a bad. Now she may not be there for the right reasons, you know, but you don't really have a problem finding you somebody else to kick it with, to hang out with, to sleep with, or whatever, you know. So there's really no reason, you know, that he needs to be running his car into his ex. Like, just move on. Take your time, deal with your breakup. I know it hurts. You know, men got their pride, ego, all that. You know what I mean? I get it. I'm not saying it's easy because when you love somebody, like everybody got emotions, we're all human. But you can't find yourself crashing out like this and putting your life in harm's way. You can't put her life in harm's way. Potential, innocent people in different cars, kids. You know what I mean? Like anything could have happened like that when you're doing these high speed chases. You know, so you got to really be careful. And when you look back at it, you know, if God forbid he does get locked up or lose his career or he's sidelined for a while, you know, NFL's going to move on. They're not going to just stay waiting for you to get out now.
Oh yeah, one monkey don't stop no show.
Oh, not monkey. During Black History Month.
Man, I don't get caught up into that whole thing.
Not you saying monkey in Black History
Right.
Month.
History shows that black people were never monkeys. If anybody was monkeys, it was white folks. So I don't
Of course
get
we
that.
weren't.
Right. So that doesn't bother
Of
me. My
course we
mom
weren't.
always told me coming up, she said, if it ain't true, why you mad? So, you know, I don't.
Charles'
That
mama tell her, I
don't
said,
bother
what's
me.
up? Blocking someone hurts more than a breakup, especially if you knew that person more than 5 years. At least you can keep your money to yourself. Well, I mean, it hurts if you know that person too. If you really love somebody, like it hurts regardless, you know. But I'm not going to jail for anybody. I'm not going to do it. So I'll sit there and cry if I need to for days, months, whatever. Plus, you will probably get more time for stealing the car versus stealing groceries. Yeah, of course. I mean, that makes sense. Jobs aren't paying. No, jobs aren't paying enough, you know, and inflation's not going down. Whole other conversation, y'all, right? But I get your point, DJ. Larry. What happened? He's still young and lame with the check.
Yeah. You know, like I say, everybody who play in these sports, man, these are not you know, you stand up guys. So, you know, you got a lot of squares who just
No, they're talented. That
physically
don't mean they
able.
stand up though.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. They talented, you know, but you know,
Mhm.
and that's another thing, like with these women, I get it. You want to get a bag, you know. Sometimes you can find you know a square to get over on, but just because he got a bag don't mean he gonna treat you right. Don't mean he ain't gonna beat on you. It don't mean he ain't gonna cheat on you. It ain't gonna mean he ain't gonna drag you through the mud. You know, he gonna pay you though. He gonna pay you to deal with those things. He gonna pay you to take that bean. He gonna take you to be okay with him having 4 baby mamas and bring his baby mama to the game. He gonna pay you to be able to drag you through the mud. And if the money is worth it, then don't cry about it. Take the bread, get the bag, get you a Chanel and get you some shoes and get you a nice car and smile and have that brother back. If that's all that matters to you is a bag.
Well, the thing with Rakia is that she got her own motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
She's
she ain't
like,
got
I'm
that kind of
good.
motion though.
Like I'm not. No, I didn't
She
say
ain't
she
got
had
that
that
kind of
kind. I said she
motion.
had her own. So she's
Right.
not in the same situation as somebody who's in the hood someplace who don't have income. You know what I mean? She's living out her dream. She's making money. They don't make a whole lot WNBA, but on Rival they get paid more. So she's good. You know what I mean? She's
Right,
okay.
right.
She's not someone who like is a desperate need of a check. Like
Right.
there are women like that out there. But she's not one of them. So that's why she also is like
Exactly.
she also has like 4 brothers. So I know temperament is very, very different. She's from Detroit too. So I know her mouth and temperament be a little bit different.
Exactly.
But she's like, I don't need you.
Like I
I
know
don't need
she's
you.
sunning
Like,
this
you
dude.
blocked, run along.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I know she's sunning this
But the
dude.
question
She
is
ain't
why.
treating you with the respect. She
And
ain't
she
look.
might be.
Chances
I'm
are.
not gonna do that. No.
I'm saying this.
No, we're not doing that.
I'm
We're
saying
not doing that.
chances are. I mean,
What?
and I don't know her like this, but just watching her play and kind of seeing her demeanor and stuff like that. She's not your most feminine. She's not that feminine type woman like that. You know what I'm saying? She's more of the other, like
She's feminine.
I know but she's not like that. I'm gonna cater to this man all day. No, she got her own. She gonna go play ball. She gonna go train. She gonna go work out. She gonna go do whatever she gotta
How
do.
do we know that she's not like that though?
She don't need him. That's what I'm saying.
No,
she
don't need him. No.
you, bro. Right? And some men have to have women.
But
that
she could
need
still very
them.
much still cater to him at home. But she could still cater to him at home.
But the way that her,
outside of her jersey.
Right. The way that her actions have been during this altercation and post this altercation, and I'm not blaming her, but all the respect she might have had for this guy is gone. She has no respect for this guy. You got to move on,
if you start
bro.
running your car running into my car, yeah, the respect is gone.
When she put out on social media all the stuff that's been going on, and y'all, that means she ain't got no respect for you, bro. She could have kept that private. We didn't need to know that, but she made it a point to let people know, look, this is the kind of fool I'm dealing with. Okay, bro, it's over. Wrap it up.
To me, I don't know what happened, but for him going to those lengths, it seemed for him to like really try to hunt her down and plead his case. It sounded like he did something. I mean, he's trying to win her back, and she's like not gonna hear it, because he's going through a lot to get her to hear him out. Yeah, no, he was in Miami. You know what I mean? If I was in Miami, there's a lot of pretty women in Miami. He might have got caught slipping. He's like, look, I made a mistake. Now I want you back. I love you. And she's like, nah, get on, take your ass on.
That's what I'm
I don't
saying.
want you no more. I don't even know. Y'all, we just
right. We
guessing,
speculating. We speculating.
But something definitely happened. Something allegedly. You know what I mean? Don't sue me. Something definitely happened for them to go from being happy couple, support one another, to this. So I don't know.
He dealing with a woman who don't need him. And look, when a woman needs you can get away with a whole bunch of stuff when she needs you. When she don't need you, bro, your leash is small. So, bro, I don't know what happened. I don't know what you did. I don't know what you did.
Is my screen freezing on your end?
It's good right now. It's good right now.
Because Larry said yours is clear, mine's is freezing up like it looks like it's AI. On my end now, it's not freezing up. Nasir, Mick, DJ, is it? I'm looking AI-ish on y'all's. Let me know. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening. Nasir said it's fine. Okay. All right. Oh, what's up, Mick? I haven't seen you in the chat in a minute. How you doing, Mick?
With the swag.
You said it best. Don't let nothing jeopardize your freedom. Also, this is why people shouldn't dive head first into relationships. Well, they've been rocking for maybe 3+ years, so it's not a new thing. It's just time to move on to a new thing. That is just time to go, move on.
Right.
Maybe it's just time also for him to he just needs to maybe focus on football, rebranding himself, getting his image together at this point,
That's what he should be doing.
and she needs to just focus on her thing, real talk, women are gonna come. They be all out there looking.
Right.
You might not meet a good woman now, but they
Right.
they
Get
out
you a
there.
groupie,
Let's
man.
go.
Get you a
Just
groupie,
focus.
man. Throw her $40, man, and go ahead and do your thing, man. Play
And
some
they could be
football,
dangerous
man.
too now.
Yeah, they always dangerous.
And he really gotta be careful now.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying because now that he has this issue with her, if he
Right.
meets somebody else who's on a scam
Yeah.
kind of mentality, and she comes out with these false allegations, people are going to go back to, oh, well, he did this with Rakia Jackson, and they're going to think that it's possibly true, and it could be nothing but lies. So
Yeah,
be
you're right.
careful.
You got to go the Shady McCoy route, man. You got to make them sign them NDAs. You got to do what you got to do. You got to protect yourself. Sign that paper. This paper say that I can do anything I want to do to you, and you ain't gonna take me to court.
Yeah, nobody's signing that. Nobody's signing that.
Hey,
shit.
they signed.
You're not doing whatever you want to do to me.
No, you'll be surprised.
You can freaking kill me. You do whatever you want to do to me.
Well,
Sure,
outside of killing you, I'm pretty sure they'll have in a small range. I can't kill you, and I can't bruise you
or
up.
Hospital, or put me in a hospital.
Right, I can't put you in the hospital, but everything else is open for business.
Like, I don't want black eyes. I don't want strangulation marks. I'm gonna be able to breathe. Like, I don't want all them kind of issues, so I can get a nice Birkin bag or whatever is supposed to get.
Right, you're gonna go home unscathed.
So.
Right.
I'm done. I'm done with you.
From the neck up.
You will. I'm done with you. All right, y'all. Oh man, y'all, football season is over. It's so bittersweet. It's so bittersweet. When does it start back up again? You have how many weeks?
Oh yeah, you got
it's
all
time
the way
to it's time to switch gears and
September.
Nasir's favorite sport. You ready, Nasir? Nasir he's ready to go all NBA, right? Right, Nasir? You're ready for All-Star weekend next week, right? Team USA versus the world.
Right.
Y'all gonna be watching? Y'all don't really watch All-Star.
Oh no, I watch All-Star. I watch NBA. Yeah, I watch the NBA. I watch All-Star, even though I think it just should be East versus West. All this stuff they're trying to throw in. We'll see how it works. We'll see if it's competitive or not. It really doesn't. To me, it really doesn't matter. I like the 3-point contest.
I am not a heartbreaker. I'm not a heartbreaker.
I like the 3-point contest.
This is false.
Well, that's to be determined. That's on,
false.
That's
continue.
But I like All-Star Weekend.
That's false.
I like. That it could be. You might be right. That's your side. I don't know. If I talk to some of your guys, they might say, he's telling the truth. So we don't really know. But
some of your guys, it sounds like a lot of guys. No.
I don't know. We don't. We're not putting you out there like that. We don't know your history like that. But we know you done had some guys.
You said some of your guys.
Come on,
man.
Like, you done had some guys.
So
Stop playing like some don't mean 30. It can mean 3 or 4.
What do you categorize as some?
Some usually mean a minimum.
Back to the All-Star game. I'm from Brooklyn.
Some usually mean a minimum of 4. But that's not here nor there. The All-Star game. The slam dunk I look forward to the All-Star weekend, all the events, the skills challenge, the slam dunk contest, the 3-point skills contest. Dame Lillard, even though he hasn't played all season, it's going to be in the 3-point contest.
Yeah, I said that Dame is back. Yeah,
and I guess I'm okay with it. You know what I'm saying? You, the guy, had to be at least play a game. You know what I'm saying, to be in it. But he's a former champion. I'm okay with some allowances being made on behalf of Dame Lillard. I'm cool with that. I like Dame. But I look forward to the All-Star weekend, and I look forward to the All-Star game. I want to see how they're going to run this format, USA versus the world. I don't expect it to be any better than
they're doing.
I don't expect it to be any better than the previous All-Star games. I still think guys are going to go out there and lollygag, and then when it gets down to crunch time, everybody's going to play hard in the last couple minutes of the game, and then you kind of get to see what you're trying to see. But at least the guys that are in the All-Star game are deserving. They're not gonna put Matt McClung in the All-Star game. They're not gonna put guys who are undeserving in the Jordan Poole will not be playing in the All-Star game. I don't care who want to show up and who don't want to show up.
Let's not take any shots. Let's not take any shots at anybody.
No, this is a shot at the NFL. No, I'm making a shot at the NFL. The NFL, right? As a whole, like I'm talking about a whole league. They got a whole league where they play their All-Star game inside of a practice field facility. Like that's the NBA. It's gonna be in the stadium. It's gonna be 18,000 people in the stands. Still have some dignity about your All-Star game as far as the league doing it. Now the players want to play hard. They don't want to play hard. Okay, that's on you. But the league, make sure you have the guys who are deserving in that game. And for that reason, I'll be watching like I always do.
I'll watch just because I like basketball, so I'm gonna watch. I want to see the new format. I like Carter Bryant. The little young lad is getting some shine, so I'm excited to see him in the dunk contest. I hope he does really, really well. The skills challenge to me is not the most exciting thing, you know what I mean? But I like to watch it. I'm excited to see how this USA versus the world thing pans out because a lot of the top players for the most part are all international now. So we're gonna see how this works out. Hopefully it's entertaining. Look, something got to give. You know what I mean? Like I said, we spoke about this a few weeks ago. You don't got to come out there and do nothing crazy and like it's game 7, and the championship is on the line. But just a little bit of effort. Just that's all. Just a little bit. And that's that. Otherwise, next year is going to be our world versus something else. It's going to be something else next time, because they're going to keep trying to figure it out. So we going to see. All right, y'all. My Warriors are playing. I'm going to go support my Warriors, y'all. Don't laugh. Don't judge me. It's my team, okay? Sorry or not, that's still my team.
Hey,
so I'm going to go support my team as they play the Grizzlies tonight, right now.
Oh yeah, they playing the Grizzlies. They might can get a win.
Oh, you said Kings, right? Because
yeah. I've been around with the Kings. They currently they beating the Cavs. They beating the Cavs right now by 6 points in the second quarter. So, but you talking about a bad team? That's the Kings. No, actually, the Nuggets are playing the Cavs right now. I like the Nuggets too.
What's going on with Sabonis?
Sabonis don't really want to be there. That's the problem.
I understand. Look, I understand.
Yeah.
You like everybody left. Coach left.
My Kings
this one left. That one left.
Actually, the Kings are playing the Pelicans. They're getting beat by 30 points. So, and it's the Pelicans. So, yeah, it's awful. The Kings are terrible. They're the worst. Like I told you weeks ago, they're the worst team in basketball. Charlotte has actually had an 8-game winning streak. So, they've been picking it up. So it's good to see Charlotte finally, starting to win some games. But yeah, your team, your Golden State Warriors, are much better than my team that I'm currently rooting for because they got Russell Westbrook and the Sacramento Kings. They're a joke. Oh, and I do like the Atlanta Hawks. I like the Hawks, but
these comments real quick, y'all.
But I'm not a Hawks fan though.
I love basketball, but the quality and intensity is not the same as when I was coming up.
It's not.
Aaron, what's up, Aaron? I haven't seen you here in a hot minute. How you doing, Aaron?
Aaron, what up, Aaron?
All-Star format will be a success this time around and not hold up. Larry said they sucks. Hopefully the Pro Bowl will be canceled going forward. I don't think so, but anything's possible, I guess. I don't think so. NBA Cup should be held during All-Star break.
Well, you got players on each team that'll probably be all stars. So what do you do with those guys? Do they have to play 2 full games in one weekend? And owners are not gonna go for that. These players are a commodity to them, and they're not gonna go for the injury risk that you have to have if a team has to play the NBA Cup and the All-Star game, and you got to compete in the skills competition. Like, nah, they're not gonna go for that.
Well, no, I mean, I wouldn't have an all-star game. I guess just maybe make the that final game the game. I don't know. There's so many different little details and things, to work it out. But it might be a little bit more exciting because they want to get paid extra anyway. So they got
Yeah.
a chance to get paid. They might actually play with some effort. Atlanta Hawks fan here. Okay. Kings organization. It's acting like the Jets organization. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know what they thinking in Sacramento. I really have no clue.
Poor
Kings G
ownership.
League games are more interesting than the NBA games. Okay. Boston Celtics fan for life. All right. Okay. I wonder if JT's gonna come back before this season's out.
I was hearing he might go ahead and sit this one out, which I
All
think he
right, you
should
guys.
do. He should just sit it out.
I think he should. I'm just wondering if he's gonna actually do it.
We'll see.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And some of y'all I haven't seen it in a while. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Do your thing.
What'd you say?
I said do your thing.
No, I was just saying thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Haven't seen you guys in a hot minute. Nasir, Caleb, Aaron, Larry, everybody.
Shout out to Larry. What's up, Larry?
I
Good to
appreciate
see you in the chat.
YouTube maybe
I hope we see you in the future.
YouTube maybe. Oh, I don't know what happened. I'm glad you found your way back. Thank you, Aaron. I saw Mick. Shout out to you, Mick. I haven't seen you in a minute. Thank you all for tuning in. Nasir said show next Monday. Yes. Probably NBA topics, but I'll be present. Okay. I'm glad.
Even though the NFL season has ended.
Go ahead.
Yeah, even though the NFL season has ended, you still got, like I said, you got the James Pierce story still going on. You got a lot of off-season moves to happen. You got the draft coming up in April, and like you said, All-Star game, post All-Star game, when you start making the NBA's team start making that playoff run. So there's a lot of things to talk about when it comes to and then the March Madness, WNBA starts back. So there's always going to be interesting storylines to go over.
I'm excited for March Madness. Do you guys do like the brackets? Do you do a bracket for March Madness?
I used to do 50 brackets. That's how I used to win. I used to win at least 2 or 3 brackets every year, but I used to fill out 50 of them. Mm-hmm. But I haven't filled out a bracket in a couple of years. It's just it's just too random right now. It's just men on the men's side anyway. I did a women's bracket like a couple years ago, but the men's side it's almost like glorified high school basketball. I don't really like high school basketball unless I know somebody who's playing. But the women's game has been way more exciting, and I do look forward to watching the women's game. Iowa got this big girl out there, man. She about 400 pounds, but she be killing. She be killing. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see them in the tournament.
Not 400 pounds.
Yeah, she about 400. They can't do nothing with her on the block.
Oh my, 400. Larry, I don't have like and stuff. So I gotta do that. So thank you for asking about donating.
Just send to my Cash App. I'll make sure I share it with her. Larry, send it to my cash app. I'll make sure I take
Yeah,
care
what's
of
your
it.
cash app? You can type it in.
My cash app on Enrique
Type your cash
Slim.
app in. I don't have one.
You don't got no cash app?
You want to type it in
How,
the chat? I do not.
yeah. How I'ma send you your bread?
I do Zelle.
Man, you the only person I know that don't got a cash app. I mean, you the second person I know. Enrique Slim, man. You know, throw something in. I'm a Zelle Katja, you know, a cut. We're gonna have to do it. We're gonna have to collect the bargain.
keep up the good work, you guys. Be easy, not sleazy. Okay. I will do my best. A lot of money on the line this year in my brackets. Red Raiders for life. I actually watched the whole show. Well, thank you. I actually watched
Hey
most
man,
of
we
tonight. Looking forward to
appreciate
the
it,
next one.
man.
Thank
Appreciate it.
you. And there goes. Oh yeah. Aaron said, "Oh yeah." She play at Iowa State. She is a big girl. Forgot her name.
Oh yeah, she be
Shout out to the
balling out
big
there.
girl doing her thing.
I be like, man, how she run the flow? She's 400 pounds. Just make her run. If y'all make a run,
All right.
y'all can beat them.
Oh my gosh. Wow. You know what? I'm out of here on that note, you guys. Y'all have a good night. Y'all have a good night. Be safe. All right, you guys. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Peace out, y'all.